understanding the plight, the trouble, and the problems of others. It is not right, and the Lord doesn't want it, and our people at their hearts want to reach out to others. Look at what they do in these storms. They go and they rescue people they don't know. They put them in their homes. They feed them. That's America.
The Lord doesn't want it, says Pastor Kasich. Well, maybe Father Kasich is right. It's really hard to know. What's easy to know and to foresee is what happens to a country where the people in power claim moral authority they don't have in order to compel you to obey. What happens? Resentment builds, factions form, craziness starts to seem normal. It is all bad. And if you want to fix it, stop talking like this. Mark Steyn is a best-selling author and a very smart man, and he joins us now. Mark, is it my imagination, or are many of our political debates, in fact, theological debates all of a sudden?
Yes, you said there are two sides to every question. That's how it should be. On an ever wider number of subjects, there are not two sides, which is why it seems entirely normal to these people that when you, on a day when there are 10 so-called pipe bombs that fail to go off, almost everybody in the establishment thinks the answer to more violence is less speech. The answer to more violence is never less speech, and it's to restore, in fact, the idea of two sides to every question. You can't say, as the left increasingly does, on any number of issues, that on immigration there's one side, there's the virtuous moral side, and on the other is the evil side. That's true for gay marriage. That's true for climate change. That's true for Islam. That's true for transgender bathrooms. That's true for an ever wider range of subjects. And when you do that, in fact, you do incentivize violence, because if you say to people, you can't talk about this, then there's nothing left except to shoot up storefronts and lob bombs through windows. To hear people, including Republicans like Mitt Romney, quite shamefully calling out a vigorous, open speech, which actually we need more of. We need to expand the borders of speech in this country. We don't need sensitivity training. As a Canadian friend of mine always says, in a fractious society, you actually need insensitivity training. You need to train people to have vigorous debates and not get to the point, whether it's on left or right, where you get obvious jokes, whether in bad taste, obvious vulgarities, are things that drive people nuts and call for people to stop tweeting and all the rest of it. We actually need more speech. If you don't want days like yesterday, you need more, better, more vigorous free speech.
Well, I mean, I doubt you've noticed the irony that as the sensitivity department at the heart of every corporation becomes more powerful, the society becomes less sensitive and crueler. One of the many ironies. But how do you debate someone who believes he's already won the debate by virtue of his personal virtue?
Yes, I think that's a key point. When I got into difficulties in Canada with the human rights guys over hate speech, and I actually won that, and we got a law repealed because I pushed back. But I well remember a minister of the Crown up there saying to me that a cabinet minister, saying that the object of this was to, quote, denormalize, unquote, me. That's why these guys on the left and the Islamic guys were doing this, to quote, I'd never heard that word before. But I think that's actually what's happening here. That if someone disagrees with you about immigration policy, about climate science, about transgender issues, then you denormalize them, you dehumanize them, you delegitimize them. And once you've done that, you're actually on the same continuum to saying it's okay to punch their lights out or shoot them up. That's the danger of that.
Right, because they're not even human at that point.
Yeah.
Mark Steyn, thank you, as always, for rooting us in reason. I appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, Tucker.
Well, at least